Hey family, welcome to a special episode of the Saturday Sit Down. Normally this show is hosted by myself, Miss Erin Bull, and my co-host, Miss Lovey, who is unavailable this evening. So I have the pleasure of sharing this episode with my better half, Mr. Verlin Willis, aka Pookie Willis.
How y'all doing, good people?
Yeah, I'm so excited to have him here. I've been trying to make this happen for a few months.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Let everybody know I ain't no ghost. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm real.
But he is very shy.
I am. So excuse me because I'm nervous and shy.
But he's not really shy. He's just nervous when the camera comes on.
Yeah.
And so we did a couple of dry runs with this last night. And what I discovered is if I want him to use his inside voice, I should turn the camera on.
Really? That's all you got to do?
Yeah. Because any other time he is loud.
I am.
He can call me on my cell phone and I'll just have him on the regular phone. Everybody knows who I'm talking to because they can hear his voice.
Well, I just have a manly voice. You know, my voice carries a little bit. I can't help that. Nothing wrong with a deep manly voice.
You loud too.
I am a little loud. Can't help it.
Yeah. So how you loud and shy?
I don't know. I'm just shy in front of this computer, this screen and stuff. Just like this box or something to do something to me. But I don't know.
But nevertheless, here we are, and he's here. Yeah. He got his arm up so he looked big because he's a whopping 160.
75. I'm big in real life.
No, not really. But let him believe what he wants to. I know what the doctor said.
Anywho, can we continue on?
Oh, you ready to move on?
Yes. We don't get into the weight issue.
Oh, okay. All right. But nevertheless, so we're going to talk about a few things. With this being our first joint episode.
Yes.
Let's talk about us.
Sure, go ahead.
So, where you want to start? You want to start at the beginning?
We can start at the beginning.
Like 20 years ago when I had a little crush on you and you didn't even know I existed.
I mean,
yes, let's go there.
Okay.
So, V and I went to the same. Yep. Glad you know.
My opinion didn't even matter, really.
I want you to feel like you had an opinion.
That's okay.
But V and I went to the same high school. He's 4 years older than me. So when he was in 12th grade, I was a freshman. And he was a basketball star.
Yeah, that was my first love.
Right.
First love.
And so, of course, any high school, especially when you go to a predominantly white high school, all the black folks know all the black folks.
Indeed.
And all the girls know all the basketball players. Yeah. And basketball players know all the girls, except for the good ones.
There we were going to talk about how we met.
Oh, okay. All right. Keep me focused. See, that's why he's here.
We're gonna go sideways with it.
I was just telling facts.
All right.
But so I knew of him in high school. He didn't know of me because I was a good girl and he wasn't the type to be messing with good girls.
No, not at all. I ain't want to ruin their life.
And not right. Not only was I a good girl, I was smart. So I knew to stay away from that. So now fast forward 20 some odd years later and we reconnected on Facebook. Right. And in between those 20 years, we lived around the corner from each other.
Right. Walking distance.
And never ran into each other. Ever. Oh, Sylvia Jones, that's my auntie. Say hey, auntie.
Hey, Auntie Sylvia.
But so we reconnected on Facebook. We were Facebook friends for a couple of years. Hey, Jermaine. For a couple of years before we actually started interacting. Like it'd just be a couple of likes, you know, not even really any comments. And then what?
I clicked on one of your videos and discovered Aaron, the real Aaron. So it was a video where she was sitting around. It looked like she was in the hood somewhere. She was over her brother's house on MLK. And I just heard a little red, pretty young lady with talking cash money to everybody. And I was like, I gotta meet her because I never met anybody like that besides myself. So I was looking at it as a challenge. You know, I had to get to know her because she was just going around the table talking cash money to everybody. So she had a little hood to her. That's what attracted me to her. With the brains. So,
and some fun facts about Pookie.
With the Pookie.
First of all, you got grown men that call you Pookie, and you answer, so I can call you Pookie too.
They've been knowing me out. Okay, you're right. You're right. I am Pookie. That's my nickname. My family call me, and my friends who know me really know me.
Right, Pookie forever.
Pookie forever.
But so we reconnected on Facebook. He clicked on one of my videos, didn't say anything. I didn't even know that was the video that reeled him in.
That was. I just told you, but today, huh?
Yeah. Fun fact. And there was another video talking
more cash.
Cash money, trash, coming out the doctor's office. This guy tried to holler at me when I had on sandals. He asked me, did I play tennis?
That was the video that I first made a comment on.
Right.
She was hilarious, man. She was just going in on the dude. Bad, you hear me?
Because my thing is, how you gonna try and holler at somebody coming out the doctor's office? Like, I don't see a band-aid, you're not coughing. I don't know what you was coming out of there for. Like, no, we not. I'm not linking up with nobody.
I said, this little woman here
coming out of the doctor's office.
Hell on wheels. I knew I had a challenge. But.
And then he put out a video when he was over the road. He was fiending for some hot wings.
Fiending almost to the point like I had the shakes, man.
And this was his first live video. So his first live video, number one, he didn't have on no lights in the truck. It was a little bit of reading light, and he blue black. It's blue black in there. Couldn't see him, but I knew he wanted some chicken wings. But his video was funny. Mild with blue cheese.
With blue cheese, celery, and some fries.
Yes.
And a Coke.
And then somewhere in between there, I dated. I don't know if it was a friend of yours or whatever.
Yes, yeah. I say it's a friend, and she dated him, so I felt like I kind of missed my shot. But what I did was I just sat back and I waited and played my position because I kind of knew he was going. It wasn't gonna work. You know what I mean? If it did, then I guess I would have just lost out. But so I waited.
Yeah, and he shot his shot in the inbox. At the time, I was in a relationship. I told him, I said, no, I'm with so-and-so. He said, oh, okay, cool. Tell him I said, what's up?
She left me on red and dry.
I did not. I responded.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And then I guess I posted on Facebook that we had broken up or whatever.
And I was like, bingo, I got her.
And literally, same day, can we still get that drink? And 4 years later, here we are on our way down the aisle.
Yep. Man, it's crazy how stuff happen like that, man. You never know till you open up your mouth, man.
Right. Because, I mean, for me, it was a different experience because I remembered him from high school. He didn't know of me at all. But I was like, oh, I got a chance to check that one off the list. Okay, come on in. Come on in.
Real and sinker, you hear
me? So our first date was
the Falcons Super Bowl disaster.
Right.
Talking about some heavy drinks after that. Nevertheless.
But other than the outcome of the game, we had a good time.
We did.
And you know, so I ain't gonna go all into detail because I was so by the time we had our first date
already, Jermaine,
we were at the point both of us had kind of reached a point where this was the last hoorah. I had just kind of come into my newfound comfort, like self-confidence, like I'm me, I'm good with me, and whoever I get with is gonna have to accept me for me. So I just presented myself to him.
She was like, look, I ain't for the BS. I ain't playing no games, with a straight face. Like, no smile, no nothing. You know, she just laid it down.
I'm not with the foolishness, and I can't handle kids. that was it.
Yeah, that was.
He said, all right. We sat there, we watched the game, discovered halfway through that he was blind as a bat.
You feel me?
So we're at the sports bar with these big old TV screens. He can't see the score. All he can see is the colors.
I think it was just too many. What were we drinking? Budweiser? I don't know. I think it was just too many beers in my vision. But
what, I don't even remember what. Oh Lord, I guess we had too many drinks. I don't even remember what we were drinking. Oh Lord, but nevertheless, we don't drink no more. Okay, we don't drink no more. Well, he finally broke down and said, "Look, you got to tell me the score because I can't see that screen." and we halfway through the game, and at this point, he could just tell from the rest of the crowd that it was not going well.
Yeah, everything went down the toilet.
But yeah, so that's us. That's how we got here. Thank you, Falcons.
Yeah, thank you, and not thank you, but thank you. You lost the Super Bowl, but I gained the wife.
Hey,
I can't be mad at y'all. I still love y'all.
And so that was our starting point, was the Atlanta Falcons. And that's been kind of our theme. Is Atlanta Falcons. He put me on to the Georgia Bulldogs because I was not into college. However, I discovered that if I wanted to spend time with him on Saturdays, I better learn about college football.
Yeah, because I'm a big, football fan, big college football fan. I have lost a lot of relationships on college football Saturdays, and women want to spend time with you during the games, and I'm like, yeah, I had to make that sacrifice. Like, okay, you got to go. I'm watching the Dogs, but
it did.
She's a football fan, so it was kind of easy.
It was easy for me to get into the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, the hard part was when he tell you he a big college football fan, because me, I just watch my team. When my team is playing, I'm watching that game. After that, we good, whatever. But this man wake up Saturday morning, first game come on at 8 a.m.
That early.
Oh, I felt like it was 8 a.m.
At 12, maybe 12:10.
No, they got an 11 o'clock game.
Yeah, they do.
Because I would be cooking breakfast and he was already watching football.
It's pretty nice.
And the games don't go off till like 11 p.m. So I had to learn about college. Rankings, all that, whatever. So here we are, Atlanta Falcons, Georgia Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
Sick 'em.
All right. All right.
So B is a truck driver. I think I've mentioned that several times. Sorry. But so with that being the case, he is only home about twice a month. And if he's home more than twice a month, generally something's wrong. So that might sound like a unique situation to get into, but it really worked for me because at the time I was a workaholic.
Now she was working like 2-3 jobs, man, working like a Jamaican or something, man. Just
Yeah, I was working 6 days a week, months on end, period, point blank. And then on Fridays, I was doing overtime at my primary job and picking up extra hours on the weekend at a second job. So with him not being home, that really worked because I didn't have to change my work schedule. And I did that for the first 2 years.
At least.
Because I was working at Summit when we met. And then I was working at Summit and Fastenal. Then I did Home Depot and Fastenal.
You were still at Fastenal with Home Depot?
Because I was at Fastenal for 6 years. So, yeah. So him not being here really worked in my favor because I was a grinder. And I felt like, he over the road for 2-3 weeks. He grinded. So, hey, we just grinding together. Right. It took us a little bit of time to adjust to home time. Like, balancing him getting rest and us getting the relationship time and to build and get to know each other. But obviously, with him being a truck driver, that did give us the flexibility of daily communications. We just didn't see each other often. So communication was probably a little easier for us than the average couple because we had no choice.
Right.
We have to learn how to talk if we want to get to know each other.
For hours and hours, just have strong phone conversations. You know what I mean? So we really got to know each other first.
Right. And he ended up driving, and he was not a night driver, but his routes would make him drive overnight. So he would get sleepy.
I still don't like it.
He still hates driving overnight. So because of that fact, and I was a night owl, I would talk to him for hours. I think we would talk till phones went dead, Bluetooth went dead. We used to have 2, 3 birds chirping, everything. Yeah. And that's how we built our relationship. And I mean, to this day, that part hadn't changed. I don't work as well. I don't. I work one job.
Hard, but it's just one job now. We just got it down to one.
And so he did talk me out of or into quitting my second job, my part-time job, because I mean, it was extra money, and that's all it was. I had time to get it, so I was going to get it. But I mean, I was tired all the time, but I didn't have a reason to like rest because I didn't have any kids. He wasn't here, so I'm like,
And to me, it really just didn't make that much sense to work that hard. Like, you don't have no kids, you really just taking care of yourself. So why even run yourself in the ground like that? You know what I mean? If you can just survive off one job and take care of yourself.
Yeah, and and he told me, if it gets tight, I got you.
Right. I mean, I help you out. You know what I mean? I'm working 2 jobs, and
so I let the second job go, and here we are. I think this is like job number 3 or 4.
Is it?
Yeah, Summit, Home Depot, Fastenal, Luxottica. Maybe number 5.
Nevertheless, she's still a grinder. She's still working. So,
and
she got to do.
And so, I mean, of course, when he's gone, I do miss him. And that's one thing that I think some people misunderstand. You don't ever get used to your significant other being gone. You just know it's part of the plan, And for me, it's easy to support him in doing that because it's his dream. It's his passion. He can't really imagine himself doing anything else. And I can't imagine him doing anything else. And I know what he wasn't doing or was doing when he wasn't on the road. So
yeah,
burn. Big wheels keep on
don't mind
turning.
Here. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll kick him out. Like
you got to leave here.
Call it tight to like, hey, y'all got a load? He needs a load.
Granted, she don't let me stay home too long, but it's for the good though.
Yeah,
I feel her.
Big facts.
I feel her.
What else? So we're getting married next year.
April 30th.
Yeah. Look at him knowing
I know this now. I remember it's it's embedded in my brain. So April 30th, 2022.
You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Me too.
I don't have no doubts. I may get a little nervous as we get there, but it won't be because of marrying her. It'll just be getting nervous. That's it. So the whole scenery and the whole scene and the people and the suits and the ties and the tight shoes. And,
How you know the shoes are going to be tight?
Because they dress shoes, so they not tight, but I'm still a sneaker guy, so.
Fun fact about V. So he didn't have anything on his calendar except for Jordan release dates.
I know. And it seemed like such a little boy thing, but I just be that little boy because I like what I ain't gonna make no, you know what I mean? Excuses for it, whatever. It is what it is. It's a habit.
But he is financially responsible. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he gonna buy them shoes, but he gonna pay the bills too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like sacrifice a car note or a house payment or a light bill for some shoes. I won't do that.
All right. So, gotta let him have what he wants.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
Thank you.
And I mean, he can get the shoes because I don't really spend no money. and in fact,
I have to make her spend money.
Yeah, so we're the opposite. Like, we don't argue about money like most couples do. We argue because I won't spend the money.
I can't even get her to buy a $6.99 shirt from DD's or something. You know what I mean? Like, shit.
Y'all, let me tell you. Was it the first Valentine's? No, it was our first Valentine's Day. So it's Valentine's Day 2018, I want to say. He gave me $100 and told me to buy myself a pair of shoes, right? And it was this specific pair of shoes. This one went to Athlete's Foot.
I don't know.
I got me 2 pair of Adidas for $60. Bought me 2 jackets. Okay, like, okay, I did it.
I'm like, okay, at least you bought yourself something. I mean, get what I could get out of, And
he used to, give me a little pocket change, whatever. And then he would open a drawer and all the cash is still in there. Because, I mean, let me tell you something about me. One, I make my own money. I'm pretty much self-maintained. So anything that he does for me, I appreciate. But I also know that we have a future to look forward to. So I don't want to spend all the money right now.
But it's like, it's a gift for you. Sometimes you have to spend money on yourself.
I mean, but I'm strategic with it. I mean, like, okay, I'm
gonna give you a story, right? It was this story. I'm gonna give you the story, right? So, who was it? It was about some shoes or something I was trying to buy for my birthday. I think I was trying to get her some Jordans or something.
Yes, it was some
Air Max, or
Nike Air Maxes.
So I'm over there trying to pick out some shoes, and I know she liked the shoes. You know what I mean? So. No, I don't like them. No, she got me looking at hats so I can buy me a hat so we can get up out of the store so I won't buy her those shoes. I'm like, I only supposed to be looking at hats.
Right. That's what we did. We ended up buying him a hat and leaving the store. I ain't even getting no shoes. Like, yes. Can I tell the story about her ring?
Yeah, you can tell the story about this ring.
Okay, yeah. So, if anything is a point of contention for us, it's this ring, right? He's so upset with me, but we have
to this day.
We have our wedding rings. Okay, they are
real ones.
1 carat total weight a piece. The 14 karat gold, and stones all the way around. Okay, so there he got to spend his money. However, this ring
got cheated at that deal too, but I'm never finished.
This ring cost $35, y'all.
From the flea market.
So let me tell you how I finessed that. Because I told you I don't spend no money. No, because we were living in an apartment. We trying to get a house. We knew we wanted to get married. Like, why I need to spend a car note or a mortgage payment on my hand?
I mean, which is understandable. I can't really be mad at a woman, for that. But at the same time, it's an engagement ring. So I just want.
So here we go. Because he is him, there's certain, like, women things he won't do. He like, I'm gonna take you and you show me, because he couldn't really figure out what kind of ring I wanted, what kind of ring he should get, So I'm like, okay, let me just try this ring on at the flea market so you can see whatever. And then I fell in love with it on purpose because I knew it was $35.
On purpose? How you fall in love with something on purpose?
It was blue.
Yes.
It was blue. It's my favorite color. It's stainless steel. It won't turn your hand. I'm like, it's an engagement ring. You're going to buy me a wedding ring, so you can just put your money up for that. Like, why do I need a comma on an engagement ring and a comma on a wedding ring? It's coming off. But nevertheless, so we got to the flea market. I tried the ring on. I'm like, oh, look, babe, it's beautiful. I love it.
Now, they just got me. I had to get it. I'm like, I cannot. I knew what it was, but I was like, okay, baby.
Yeah, because one thing about him, and I generally don't ask him for things because he will give it to me. I can say that. If I say, babe, I want a blah, 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 he's going to try his best to give it to me until I change my mind. Like PlayStation 5, it came out 2 years ago.
Yes.
And he's been saying he was going to get me one, but every time he gets to the point, I always find a way to get him to not buy it. It's like, because it's like $500. Y'all know it. Come on. I mean, I have always wanted my own PlayStation. I wanted a PlayStation 5, but then things started happening. And I was like, well, there's bigger things than PlayStation 5, you know.
I mean, it is.
And instead of the PlayStation 5, we ended up getting him some shoes. So this is how I did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, sorry.
I mean, it is what it is. I can't be mad at that. You know, a lot of women be like, yeah, give me this, give me that. You know, be trying to pocket check you, but she's just not like that at all. So you have to force her to spend some money on her. Now she'll get you something, you know what I mean? She'll go all out for you, but for her, oh, just give me the 99-cent slippers and
yeah, like they're my size. They've matched my outfit. Like, okay, y'all, here we go. This is how I guess you call it cheap. I don't know, but see my dress, see these shoes, 88 cents at Walmart. This is what I'm wearing today because they match. Okay, blue on blue. On his feet are some shoes that I bought him. They was like 180.
I don't think they was that much. Now we not gonna go there. What they, maybe?
Yeah.
They're like once in. They
how
cost
many
a little
pairs?
bit.
Yes, all your shoes cost a little bit.
Okay.
All his shoes have a first, middle, and last name. Okay. Nike Air Max OGs. Like. Pardon?
I have nothing to say.
Oh, okay.
Speechless.
Right.
You got me.
Okay.
You got me. You got me.
But
Yeah.
so this is us. This is pretty much like how we do. As far as like what is our thing, it's Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, get Joe, porch,
Yeah.
cigarettes, conversation, food.
Yeah, that's our life. We're like old people.
Like old people, be in bed by 10:30. You know,
He be in bed by 10:30.
I'm an old man, so I gotta get that old man nap. And by 10:30, it's a wrap for me.
Let me tell y'all, if he is up at 11, he took a nap
Facts.
at 8 p.m.
Facts.
And he gonna get up and wake up the roosters.
By 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
You don't even sleep that late.
By 5 sometimes. I wake up with nothing to do, wide awake at 5:30.
Man, y'all, when we lived together, he would
That's
wake
so
up
funny.
so early that he would go to McDonald's, get him a sandwich. And then by the time I was getting up at normal breakfast time, he'd be hungry again. Like, that's how early he gets up.
They say the early bird gets the worm, man. You know, it's just in me to get up early. I can't sleep past. Like, if I sleep past 7, my body start hurting or something. Like I don't sleep too long. It's just in me.
Yeah, so I have kind of converted to a midday. I ain't no early bird by any means, but I started out as a night owl, and then my schedule has changed. So now I get up at like 8:30.
Well, see, like when I first met her, don't call me early in the morning. I
Oh,
said, oh, okay. I'm not a morning person.
and not only is he a morning person, like he gets up in the morning, he is that, yeah, feet hit the ground,
Running, you hear me?
up like, you know how your 2-year-old wake up ready to go before you can even open that one eye? That's this one. That's this one. And over the road, at home, whatever. And when we first started dating, he had to learn the hard way. No, don't call me before 12. And if you gonna call me before 12, call me like you got some sense.
Right.
Do not call me trying to jug me, press my buttons or whatever, because I'm a snap. I ain't had no coffee, I ain't had no cigarettes, I ain't even brushed my teeth. You really gonna get cussed out.
So I got
And I
snapped
expect
on.
you to answer the phone when I hang up on you. Like,
I got snapped on and hung up on and this, that, and the third. So I learned my lesson. The hard way, like most of them. But I
that's
learned
the way
it.
you like to learn.
Yeah. We bump our head against a few walls.
All the walls.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
So how have we made it this far?
How have we made it? You mean just still being lovely, I guess.
Because I'm awesome.
That, and I'm awesome. And I think we just enjoy each other. We understand each other and communicate with each other, you know.
Yeah. And I think that one of the best things about our relationship is that
We have fun too. We laugh and
and we really do communicate. It took us a minute to get the hang of proper communication
Yes.
because V and I are like twins.
Yes.
You know, I am the female version of him. He is the male version of me.
We have the same temperament.
So us getting angry ain't a win in it.
Both Sagittarius.
And we got the energy to sustain it. Okay. So we don't do those little 5-10 minute spats and take a breather. Oh no. If we going into it, we going through, oh baby, this about to be an all day affair. Take off work because we gonna do this.
Right.
You wanna fight? I'm gonna give it to you.
And I never had a woman like that. Like it took me some time to adjust to it. Like I can give it out and she give it right back to me. I'm like, oh, okay then. You gotta love it, dog. I do it.
You know, he is definitely what they say from the show me state.
Yeah, you gotta show me.
Because this hard head thing right here. Now you know me. I'm a communicator. You know, I was taught to use my words. I'm a woman, so I can express my emotions, you know, and I do. Yes. Generally through words, you know, and trying to get him to just understand a different side. It's not about being right. It's just sometimes, often, but a lot of times he is closed-minded and not really open to the perception of other people, like how other people perceive it, you know, how things could be misunderstood. How he sees a thing is what he thinks that everybody should see it. Like if it's blue, you should see it as blue, and you stupid if you don't. And you know, I just had to inform him. One, there are several sides to the story. Right. There's different perspectives, right. And ain't nobody stupid over here. Now, if you want to do stupid, we can do stupid, but that don't work out too well.
No, it don't. It don't.
Because right. I can get as stupid as shit.
Right.
So we both got a little smarter.
We did.
Learn to use our words.
Like I said, we bumped our heads together.
Yeah, we did.
You know, ran into and through the walls together. And like I said, we both got smarter. Now I know how to come at her and communicate with her, and I can tell when she kind of running hot, so I know how to back off. Okay, babe, you got it. Not to push them buttons a jug, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because for some reason, I just kind of like to push a button until it's to see.
Yes.
See if it's hot. Like, yeah, I did it with it bourbon. I'm like, okay, it's good.
Right, and I will give you. I'm not just the hot to cold. When I'm getting warm, I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, I have had a long day. I've been up since 7 a.m. La 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 la. Now you keep pressing that button. 38 hot it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, no safety.
Right. At all. No safety.
If you want this smoke, yeah. I got all the smoke.
Cocked and loaded. Keep one in the head,
Cock lock, ready to rock at all times. Okay.
That's one of the things that I respect and enjoy about him. You have to respect and enjoy a strong woman who's gonna speak her mind and tell it like it is, especially with somebody like me.
Yeah. And I have definitely learned a lot being in this relationship, not just about relationships, but also about myself and people. V definitely helps me to understand how to communicate and finding different ways. Also, he helps me to kind of stay cool and compartmentalize things, because one thing about the way our relationship is, we have to schedule arguments and heavy discussions. It doesn't even have to be an argument, but even if it's something that requires thought, conversation, things like that, I can't just pick up the phone and call him. I have to figure out, is he driving? Is he, on the expressway? Is he on the mountain? Okay. Does he have reception? Is he awake?
Right.
You know, so I actually would have to say, I want to talk to you about XYZ. Tell him what it is, and then have to wait for him to let me know when we can discuss that. And so, for example, I want to talk about what I want to talk about an issue. I want to talk about this issue, and I would present it to him. Well, I can't really get into it right now. You know, I've got about an hour to drive. So once he's starting to approach his destination, one, it's a lot of turns to get to the shipper or to the plant, wherever he's going. And then generally he's going to end up having to talk to people, check in, check out, paperwork, jumping in and out the truck. So it doesn't make good for him to pay attention or give his undivided attention to the topic I want to discuss. So now I have to say, okay, well, we can't talk about this right now. We don't just get off the phone. We still move on.
Right.
You know, we have to have those other conversations about the other things. And then tomorrow, hopefully our schedules will coordinate where we can actually sit down and discuss this specific issue. Right. You know, I mean, even, like I literally have had to tell him, you know, I am upset about this, that, the third, or whatever, and we need to talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it at 10 a.m. That's very difficult. So I just got to be mad in this moment, let it go, and then pick it up again tomorrow morning. But, you know, having to do that with him actually helps me in my everyday life, especially with the things that I deal with at work, being a manager over a whole department, you know, so it helps me in that regard too. So I've learned that from him.
Yeah, I taught you something.
And I've taught you a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. That's why I was just happy because I taught you at least one thing.
Yeah. But he's really my best friend. We are, like I said, we're very much alike. But one thing about him is, and it took me a long time to adjust to it, is that he is only two modes: cool as a fan or hot, like mad, angry, upset.
There's really no in between.
But he's gotten better.
I have. The older I get, I think the better I get. You know. Plus, she has helped me a lot.
Because I was about to say,
yeah, she has helped me a whole lot, like a whole lot.
And also with him having high blood pressure, like when we first started dating, and he was doing some other things that impacted his blood pressure, he would get these really bad headaches. So even just an argument of 5 to 10 minutes could take him out for a day with these excruciating headaches. So I had to be mindful of how I presented things. And I had to present it with the right words, the right tone, that he could receive it without getting upset, because it could trigger one of those, you know, shut down migraine headaches. And then also, like, when he has those headaches, I have to help him get better. You know what I mean? Especially if he was having them at home, you know, so it's some nuances to this thing.
Yeah, it is. It's different dynamics for real.
But
they work.
We manage
we make it work though.
And you know, I mean, he's lucky.
I'm glad she's glowing still. Even after 4 years, she still glows. Big smiles and all that.
Not to pat yourself on the back?
No, not at all. I'm just happy I can still do that. I ain't being arrogant and nothing.
And
real rap.
I really do still get like this excited every time he comes home. Every time he comes home. And I love to pick him up from the truck. Like, yay, babe's home. Like,
she like to get in the truck and ride. That's her favorite.
Oh, yes. Man. Yes. I love going over the road. I love going over the road with him. Yes. It's the best of both worlds. I get to be in the big truck, hear the horns, the engines, that's all that. Yes. Yes. And then, you know, to be in his space, because that's his world, that's his passion. That's what he loves to do. So he really kind of just comes to life in the truck because he's doing what he loves. And I think he does it great. You know, I mean, I'm like, oh, do it, baby. Back it up. Yeah. But I don't press no buttons. So.
Yeah, she don't press no. I be like, hey, just turn the radio up a little bit.
Like, no. Have you ever seen the dash of an 18-wheeler? It's so many buttons and fifth wheels and which four ways and cab
Brakes,
light,
air
this
brakes,
light, brake, trailer. I'm like, man, look, I'm not about to pay for this. None of that. No, I won't even turn the light. Like he has left me in the truck to go in the store and didn't turn the lights on. So I'm just sitting there in the dark, waiting for him to get back. Like,
man, the light is right there above you.
Nope, not touching nothing. Nope. I have managed or progressed to cranking up the truck. I did get there.
Yeah, I think you did that one time. That was when Courtney came down here.
Yeah.
I think you just did it for Courtney.
I did.
Courtney, hey, can I crank?
Yeah,
like, I don't try to get you to do that so many times. You just do it, no problem. Like, I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I can unlock it, start it up, and close the door. That's it.
That's cool. You want to tell about the truck episode you had on me?
What? Sure.
So,
do
you want to tell?
I'll fill in the blanks.
All right, so usually in truck driving, it's like certain times you know, I ain't gonna say certain times, but you can stop, take a shower, and do all that. Don't never believe that you can't shower. They got showers at every truck stop and this, that, and the third. So one night I was parked. It was time for me to go to sleep, and Miss Aaron Bull was still up. Just, I don't know, up. You hear me?
I'm a night owl, so it was a night I couldn't sleep.
And I was like, babe, you can go take a shower and stuff like that. You can go take one tonight, so that way we be ready to ride in the morning. I guess she didn't want to go by herself. So I understood that. Next morning came. I get up, I take a shower. She's just not going to sleep. You see what I'm talking about? So now it's time for me to take off. So I get up, take a shower and everything. And get ready to go down the road. We drive maybe about an hour or so.
I don't know. I was asleep.
Anyways, it's curtains in the back of the truck. I'm sitting there driving, right? I hear a little woman, little 5 foot something woman, snatch over the curtain, stand over me like she was about to jump on me. I'm talking about, is you clean? You I'm like, hey. I asked you to take a shower last night. She was so hot, but I have to let her give it to you her way, in her energy.
Okay, so from my side of the story, okay, he says he told me what the plan was. I don't recollect that. I just know I woke up. Went to sleep in one state and woke up in another. Didn't know where I was. The truck was on, and somebody was talking over my head. So in the bed area of the truck, he's got a speaker, and it's a lot louder in that area than it is in the front. So he didn't even know the radio was on, but I didn't care. I just knew somebody. It was like talk radio or something like that. So I get up. That's what woke me up, because I'm like, who is this talking over my head while I'm sleeping? And so I open the curtain politely. It's my story. I'm telling my story, so I'm gonna say it like that. I opened it politely and said, "Pardon me, sir. I notice your clothes are different. Have you bathed?" Yeah. Okay, no, y'all. Let me tell you something. I opened the curtain trying to figure out what was going on. And I looked at him and I realized he had on different clothes. I'm like, excuse me, but for real, I said, nigga, you clean?
Is you clean?
I was so hurt, upset, and offended that he was clean. And then on top of that, y'all, he didn't even get mad.
Oh, I'm driving. I'm enjoying the route. Looking back, laughing because I already gave you.
And that's how he looked at me.
I gave you the game plan.
So I'm hot, because he clean. I'm not, and we're moving. So that means we're not even near the shower anymore. And he won't get mad. I'm ready to argue. I'm ready to fight. He went insane. He was just like, oh. Yeah, and threw me off. And just and that hand, that's my trigger right there.
Like that. I'm like, yeah. Right.
Ooh. So I went off in the truest red bone fashion that is. No, it ain't no door, but I slammed the curtain.
Slammed the curtain like a door. Like, slam my curtain. So, turn the radio down. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was still laughing. He
laughing while I'm mad. But then in the midst of my whole tantrum, I hear this. Y'all, we done pulled up at the next truck stop, the state over, so I could take my shower. He was already taking
That
me.
was the plan anyway. I knew, like, that's why I was laughing at her. Like, yeah, I understand you. Let you talk for about another hour or so.
And then I jumped out paratrooper style now,
Yeah.
because first of all, when you get into or out of an 18-wheeler, you're supposed to use 3 points of contact, okay? 2 hands, a foot, 2 feet in the hand, whatever. 3 points of contact. Oh no, I was red bone mad. I had my little backpack on and jumped out.
Parachute out like something. Hey, don't do that, man.
Slammed the door that's way bigger than me.
Right.
And took off. Now the whole time, this was when I went over the road with him for 10 days. So this is like day 7. So for the 6 previous days, I would always wait for him to escort me in. Oh no, I'm red bone mad. This nigga could clean and I'm not. I need my shower. So I paratrooped out and walked on in there without him. Went in there, took my shower, came back out, had my Joe, had my breakfast, and then I'm like, hey, sweetheart.
You don't get out of my face, girl. I ain't stand you.
I ain't apologize. I didn't even acknowledge the whole previous episode or anything. I just asked him about the route and itinerary and ETA. Like, that wasn't just me. Yeah.
Like, you just slammed my curtain and told me to turn the radio down. Then debo me. Like, you stood on me like you wanted to jump on me.
But I'm just saying, like, that was pre-coffee me. I'm sorry. I didn't have coffee.
Thanks. Big facts. That coffee is a drug, you understand?
Okay, well, since we telling stories, can we tell the story about when you didn't trust me because you drove my car and forgot? Oh, okay.
I don't remember that story.
Okay, don't worry. I'll refresh your memory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one day we drove to Moe's in my car. So I'm 5'2". He's 6'1". If he drives my car, he has to lift the seat back. So we drove to Moe's. He drove us back. Bam, cool. The next day we get in the car and, I'm back in Egypt sliding the seat up. Never mind the fact that he done got in the passenger seat with his knees up in his chest from where I had my seat slid up. He ain't worried about that. Who long ass been sitting over there? You? Yours?
I had to make sure.
Yeah, like, don't try me.
Yeah, I just had to make sure. That was too funny. I was 45 high.
The man.
38.
The man. Like, he really was questioning me about who I let drove my car. We lived together. The car was parked at the house, at the apartment. Who gonna drive the car, babe? Overnight. He ain't think nothing about that. He just knew that seat was not in the right position. Who been in it? But so over these past 4 years, as much fun as we are having now, we must admit it has not always.
No, it ain't always been peaches and cream.
It has not always been peaches and cream.
I ain't gonna sit here and we can't front like that.
And we went through some difficult
Very
difficult times. And at some of those times, I don't even know how we managed to get through it. But can we be honest?
Yeah. Okay.
So the rough times that we went through was his fault.
Yeah.
And I had every right to leave. But I stayed. And we managed to work through them. And one of the reasons that we were able to get through it was, one, he had to make a decision about if he wanted to continue living the old life that didn't have me in it, or if he wanted this life that we were supposed to be working towards, supposed to be building with me in it.
Basically, it was either you want to be a grown man or do you want to still be in the streets. Whether you want to play these little games or, like I say, just be a man and notice what you have in front of you, because you would hate to lose that just by doing little boy stuff.
No. And I never gave him an ultimatum. I never forced him like, you better do this or else. I just politely told him. And it was actually politely, for real. Like, okay, well, either you want to keep doing this and I'm going to move on with my life, or I'm going to move on with you because you're going to step up and do the right thing. And he put in the work. He put in the work and put in the work. He laid down a lot of those childish things, some dead weight, some ties, habits. And so through that, trust was broken. And he had to go through the tedious things you have to do to rebuild trust. Me scrutinizing every move, every call, every question, like, what you doing, where you at, why? And him being man enough to answer and understand that, he put us in this position because I wasn't insecure or unsure prior to it. So I wasn't one of those people, one of those women that just always didn't, that I trusted him at one point. I trusted him at one point, and he was the reason that the trust was lost. So he put forth the effort, and one thing that I can say, even in the darkest of times, he would always tell me it would get greater later. And at some point I was like,
when is later coming?
It's later.
Right.
It's not greater yet.
Right.
But he put in the work, and we are definitely much better off. And I am proud of him. I'm proud of who he is, and I'm proud of him for embracing the new direction that we're headed in. I'm proud of him for restoring that trust and for trusting in himself. A lot of part of the issues that we had during that darker time was that he didn't see what I saw in him. So that was pretty much what I did during that dark time, was get him to understand what I saw in him. I didn't just choose him because I couldn't find nobody else. Oh, baby, look at me. I'm fine. Okay.
Right. I agree.
But I knew what he had in him. And the reason that I knew what he had in him and why I was able to stay during his dark period was because he was there for me when my father passed. Like I said, our first date was February 5th. And then my father passed February 21st. So we were new. We weren't even officially a relationship yet when my father passed, but we were talking, we were working towards building up to that relationship. And he helped carry me through that situation. He was everything that I needed in that moment. And I didn't even know what I needed, but he was it. I could call and talk to him about my dad if I wanted to, if I was just not able to formulate words and I just needed a person to be on the phone. He would be that. If I needed to scream, if I needed to cry, he would be that for me. And, he never pressured me one way or the other. He never asked me to talk about it. Who is this?
I don't know. They talking about, is it true abusers were abused themselves? What is he talking about?
No, we're not doing that. Adam made your fitness and gaming L. I'm not about to add you to my stream, hun. I don't know. You need to identify yourself more than that. Kick the guest out.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody tried to come on the show, but unfortunately, I can control that.
Let Adam have it, but she can control it.
But so ultimately, he carried me through a dark place because when I lost my father, I lost half myself. I didn't even know how to process that, how to deal with it. And he literally guided me through that. He carried me through, and he wasn't even here most of the time. No, I'm not surprised. Okay, so let me tell you what we're addressing right here. Hold on.
Mr. Adam Mia.
Fitness and gaming L. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. But nevertheless, carrying on. But because he was there for me during that dark period where I had kind of lost myself. Now, I didn't, necessarily do anything self-destructive, like pick up a habit or, just wild out, turn out, or anything like that. But, he helped me to just process it because that was new.
Just going through it, you lose a parent or somebody close, you just go through it, period, mentally.
And it wasn't very many people that I would deal with or could deal with at that point, because people felt like they knew what I needed and they would tell me what they think or what they thought I wanted to hear at that time. But I just say, through the grace of God, he knew what to say and what to do. He never made me feel some type of way. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He never shamed me for all the tears, the frustration, the screaming, the cursing, the questions, the uncertainty, the silence. Okay,
He's so funny. A little bit time out or something.
No, that's fine. They're going.
He's funny.
But he was just everything that I needed. I don't know how else to put it, and because he did that so early on, because that was literally 2 to 3 weeks of us just having a conversation over the phone. We had our first date, and I don't even think we had seen each other again prior to that. So for him to do that so early on, as we got later on into the relationship, that muscle memory of that moment allowed me to stay through his moment. And that is why I say I know what is in him, or I knew what was in him, even when he was making those poor decisions and bad choices, was because I knew he was better than that. It wasn't that I painted a different picture of him, or I knew that he had already shown me everything that I needed to see and to know that, he could be everything I needed. And hey, Stacy.
What's going on, Stacy? Thank you. We try.
And I apologize, y'all. I don't know what was going on with that person, but they tried to throw us off a little bit. But nevertheless, here we are. We're gonna continue.
We had a troll. That's all. Ain't tripping.
But hey, that means that we're big. I never had a troll before. You brought trolls. Look at you.
Oh,
okay.
Man. I don't know what to say. I'll break it out to the trolls.
So I've done a lot of talking.
Not really. I mean, you just.
So what have you learned over these past 4 years?
I just learned just how to be a better person, period. Just to be a better myself. And I learned to express myself in different ways, and just not actions, and not bottling up everything and thinking I can just deal with a lot of stuff by myself and not saying nothing and just keeping everything inside.
And I am, that is true. And I am proud of you for that, because especially like during that darker time, part of the issue is that you would not use your words. You would not articulate. So I couldn't even do a whole lot to help you. And when you see someone that is spiraling out of control and making poor decisions time after time, you feel like it might be you, and there was a time where I was like, well, maybe I'm just not it. Maybe I'm just not it. Maybe I am motivating him to do these poor decisions.
That was never the case. It was just a lifestyle that, you live so long, you think it's normal. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it was. It was never you. It was just like I just thought it was just normal in a way. I mean, I know it was wrong, but at the same time, it's like what I do. So
And I think that early on, you definitely struggled to balance your independence with being in a relationship.
yeah.
And, I mean, all the things that we went through. So, I mean, I had seen and been to a lot of the worst places. So I'm like, why are you shutting me out? I'm probably the one person.
I know, and I just didn't think that I didn't give her a chance to understand.
Right. And now that was really, really hard, is that because you wouldn't use your words and you were avoiding me, it wasn't anything that I could do. And I was like, well, maybe it is best that I leave. But
We're here still. She didn't leave me, so.
Right. And that's true. We, in the 4 years, we've never broken up. We got close.
Never had like, okay, we're gonna take a break or a time out or nothing like that. So
And
she was heaven sent, man. I just sent from above for real.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you sweet.
Oh.
But
can you really kiss him? Like, I guess so. Exactly. I'm just playing. It's being silly.
All right, so we're gonna get up out of here, but thank y'all so much for joining in with us. I hope that you all have enjoyed it. I really appreciate V for being here. Again, I'm so proud of you for doing this. I'm so proud of your growth. And setting us on the path that we're on now, as opposed to where we were. I am proud to be marrying you next year.
Me too, baby.
I can't wait. I look forward to a lifetime of love.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that we will definitely experience the better or for worse. But I think that we have a solid foundation. I'm glad that we have taken the time to get through those difficult moments and learn to communicate and articulate the issues in a way that we can both receive it. And I do appreciate the fact that no matter how difficult things got and how angry we were, you always made sure to let me know that I was loved. And that no matter what, you always choose me. So I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem, baby. You deserve it. High five.
And yes, we are this cheesy for real.
We are very cheesy. This ain't even an act. This is what we do. 4:30:22. Yeah, according.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Big facts.
Look at everybody, all my family tuning in. Hello, y'all. Stacy checking in. Sylvia. But all right, y'all. Thanks again so much for tuning in. It has definitely been a pleasure to do this episode. I'm glad that we were able to do it. I was nervous.
I'm still a little nervous, but it worked out.
And y'all don't even understand how big a deal
yesterday
this
I wasn't
is.
gonna do this. I was like, man, I ain't on computer stuff and no YouTube, and I ain't on no shows and none of it. But I'm glad I did this time. I'm glad
too. But Lovey will rejoin us next week, and we will continue doing what we do on the Saturday Sit Down. Once again, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.